How much do you like music?
I like music to the moon and back.
In fact, Rylan often stays up way past bedtime just to watch his dad work.
Listen, that clip is about a young man I got a chance to meet for the first time around Super Bowl was. We were out there broadcasting HB.
Yeah.
I can't think of the
out
name.
In L.A.
In Los Angeles.
Okay.
And we were staying at a hotel, and my brother, my mentor, someone who supported me on my rise as an independent artist with an independent record company that picked up a consignment deal for me, did a partnership with Georgia's Music Room and distributed Sway and Tech music and artists that we were producing at that time nationwide. Mm-hmm. Nationwide, independently, which means we got more of the money back from the records we sold, and he cut me a fair price. He may not remember it, and he did it without question. I don't even know if George knew who I was at that time, Heather. I tell this story over and over.
But he showed love.
He showed love.
That's what mattered.
Got my music in Chicago. That's how come I became in love with Chicago, is because of this man.
I met him in Chicago with you.
That's right? This man is responsible for a lot of careers. I get some of the legends like Etta James, Muddy Waters. It goes on and on.
Goodness.
I go all the Chicago artists, any Chicago artists that are successful, it's because of this man. But not just Chicago. Artists around the music business in general. The music business owes him money.
When am I going to get my check?
Welcome, George Daniels, man.
Yes, sir.
GD.
Thank you.
Yes, man.
When am I going to get my check?
That Mike Muse, they called him the Barnum and Bailey of black retail.
I love it.
Wow.
He's been pushed many initiatives for black retail, the mom and pop stores that have been ate up by all the big conglomerates. He was the guy that was waving the flag and showing the importance of why those stores are important and how that annihilation of the mom and pop circuit hurt the music business.
Oh, no doubt about it. Then I was just talking earlier, if it wasn't for the mom and pops, where would hip hop be?
That's a fact.
Because I was like, well, I was. I'm still, I was the first black person on the board of NARM.
Oh.
National Association of Recording Merchandisers. This is Tower Records, all of the big chain stores. And there was only 9 members on the board. I wound up on the board in the 90s. I did 2 3-year terms. But this is during the time, if those that out there remember, a term called sound scam.
Sound scam.
Yeah.
It was really sound scam.
Talk about that.
Well, the bottom line is hip-hop was only known to be purchased at black stores. White stores didn't know what the music was. And when I used to go to Jack the Rapper, BRE, Urban Network, Impact, I used to get in the asses. I can't say ass.
You already too late.
Okay.
That's good.
But the black executives, they didn't realize they were there, yes, because of the music, but they were there because of sales. And who's responsible for sales?
The
Black mom and pop stores. And we were the only ones that knew what this music was because it came from the streets. And that's where you bought your first hip hop. I mean, I remember LL Cool J on the 45. I Need Love, back to Cali.
Wow.
And see, and then when we did the first in stores, there would be white kids lined up in the hood because they knew what the music was. But the only place to buy it was through us.
Wow.
And then so SoundScan was supposed to, because we used to literally fax our reports.
SoundScan was a digital program that recorded when singles were sold?
Yeah, well, what it was, SoundScan was actually a point-of-sale system.
Okay.
In essence, they wanted the black stores to buy the system. It was called the Young System out of Atlanta, Georgia. And they wanted us to buy the system from them. It was like $15,000 at 18% interest. And, the few stores. And oh, man, look. They wanted to charge us for it and then charge us to put us out of business.
Wow.
Because basically that's what it was designed to do. Because once they got our numbers, because before I report to GCI, the radio stations, heck, I'd fax them my reports, my sales.
Yeah.
And same thing with Billboard. But then when this system came in, I was at that time, I had organized the black stores, and I was influencing them. I said, please do not buy this system. Don't do it. This is going to let them right into your cash register because that's what it did.
Yeah.
Because we had basic cash registers back then, no point of sale, no barcodes and all of that. Man, the stores that did it, I begged them not to, but that was the beginning of the end of black retail because then they outpriced us. They, that same CD that was $18.99. My wholesale cost was $12.40.
Damn.
That same CD at Target or any other chain stores was $9.99.
Yep.
In essence, it was cheaper for me to go buy it from my competition.
And then sell it in your stores.
And that was because bottom line is the marketing dollars. That's when I used to get on the dudes at the conventions. You know, Sam Goody and the rest of them, they had those big windows. $25,000 a month.
Just to advertise
in those windows. And so if you got 10 windows, you got $250,000 a month.
Wow.
For nothing. And you can give the music away, basically. And that's what was happening. That's what did it to us.
So,
you know,
so how many black retail outlets are there left?
Are there any?
Yeah.
You know?
Damn.
And see, so what it is now, you know, it's back to vinyl, which is big. And so, but, you know, who could survive off of that? Because now you got the online stores. See, so, I mean, it takes away our whole culture. Part about, you know, as a kid growing up, I mean, I think of the thousands of youngsters that passed through my door as a kid to see these artists and so on and so forth and get an understanding of what the business is about. I mean, for me, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, they grew up at my store.
Common.
Yeah, they all came there. Kanye. And see, so their first influences was that neighborhood record store.
Yeah, wow.
And so when you think about all the stores that were in the Bronx, in Harlem, in Brooklyn.
Bobby's Happy House, the man Harlem.
T.Y. Uzi's in Oakland.
Birdie's in Brooklyn. And see,
Creative Music in San Francisco.
Hey, those are my friends.
Wow. In a way, though, that ownership is kind of coming back around, because when you mentioned Kanye, like Kanye released his last album through that device that he created.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or even thinking about some other artists that are like, okay, you can only purchase Ryan Leslie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, this is a special link. I'm going to connect. I'm going to gather the email list of my fans.
Yeah. But it's good that, you know, you have that direct link to the artist.
Yeah.
But where's the experience of a child coming into a store?
That's true. And being introduced to other artists.
And the interaction, community.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
we were the community.
That's a fact.
And
You
see,
bought
so-
music, you bought posters, you bought incense,
Gospel, blues,
everything.
Yeah, gospel, blues, jazz. I used to program my store like a radio station. I used to open up early in the morning because back then you had people working 24 hours, the graveyard shift. I remember. And they would listen to the radio station and they hear those 45s playing.
Yeah.
And if they want to shop, when they get off at 6, 7 in the morning, George's music room was open.
There it is, man.
And I'd have the speakers outside, but I'd start with gospel music up until 12 o'clock every day.
That's very thoughtful. That's smart.
Yeah. Oh, when it wasn't on, the neighbors would call me and say, George, what's wrong?
There you go. To throw some of
See, so it's part of the community.
Help keep people out of trouble, too.
George Daniels citizens. He been in it for a minute, man. Over 50 years. They just celebrated him. They gave him his flowers.
Wow.
In Chicago, this is like when I go to Chicago, who do I call, George?
Hey, better call me.